My mother was a devoted and traditionalist person who believed in miracles and promises made to the saints. These are called Mandas, which were pacts or promises that you had to fulfill to pay or ask a saint or god for favor. She told me that on a certain occasion, an aunt would fulfill a promise to go on a pilgrimage to the temple of the Virgin of Zapopan. So she prepared herself and took the road to go to the Church of the Virgin on his day and thus be able to fulfill that promise. The road was long, but not lonely. Along with her there were hundreds of pilgrims with the same devotion and intention of arriving. All walking in one direction, with the strength of their faith, barefoot, with crosses, with saints to bless, with the firm conviction to fulfill their promises. My aunt was a woman of convictions and given to make friendships, so it was not difficult to find a partner who would make the path shorter in the darkness of the dawn. So she matched with a young woman, who began to talk to her. After a while of walking, they had already entered in confidence and were happy to be able to reach the church. However, something caught their attention. From the darkness of the road and the first rays of the sun that began to illuminate the blue sky, they saw an old man who was walking with difficulty and carrying what seemed to be a heavy crossbow. His arched back and the slow steps he took showed this when they approached. They noticed that the old man was a very old man with a face full of wrinkles, with a palmy-clad hat full of holes that played perfectly with his dress made of blanket. The young woman who accompanied my aunt offered to help him to carry the ribbons he was wearing. At first the old man denied with his head, but after insisting, the old man finally gave the heavy bouquet, which suddenly felt lighter. The young woman took the step with my aunt. The old man was left behind with his slow steps, but free of the load, and he followed the women very closely. When they finally arrived at the church, they turned to look for and wait for the old man, who never appeared. They lost sight of him a little before arriving at the temple. Thinking that he might arrive later, they lined up at the church atrium and arrived together with the parish priest, who was blessing objects and preparing everything for the graffiti action mass. The women, trying to fulfill the favor of the old man, approached the father and handed him the rib. When they asked for its content, the women told him that it belonged to an old man who came to fulfill a command, and that he might arrive soon. The father, surprised, opens the rib and, upon observing the content, throws a scream of amazement and throws it on the floor. The women, alert and unable to understand what was happening, approached to see the content of the rib. Their surprise was immense when they saw that inside there was a bone and a skull that seemed to be observing from within. They were old and yellow bones that seemed to have been there for a long time. After a while, the father perhaps understood that event. He took the bones to take them to the crypt of the place, but before that he told the women, these bones were perhaps a promise that that old man had made to bring them here. Maybe in life he failed to do it, and you freed him from that burden. Let's hope he's resting in peace now. Then the father moved away with the rib and got lost among the people. The women said goodbye and fulfilled their orders. My aunt could never explain that event to my grandmother, and to this day it remains a mystery.